Our plan is to go to Switzerland. I don't know exactly when. The way that we're setting up
the cancellation of US Vice President J.D. Vance's trip to Switzerland for talks on the newly signed deal with Iran shows how fragile the agreement is, the executive director of the Wilfried Martens Center told Euronews.
Tell us, what is the view from Brussels?
A cancellation of the meeting in Switzerland indicates the deal is very fragile, and the problem remains. You have the issue of Iran nuclear capabilities, enrichments to 60%, Strait of Hormuz, and how is that going to open up, and the regional implications.
US and Iranian officials, as well as mediators from Pakistan and Qatar, were set to meet in Bürgenstock on Friday for talks on how to implement the Memorandum of Understanding.
I think Vance is maybe trying to avoid a situation where he's kind of somehow going there and trapped. So normally in those meetings, when you go there, it's normally for signing. You need to know what's going to be agreed, and that's clearly is not the case.
On Wednesday, US President Donald Trump signed a deal aimed at ending the war in Iran in Versailles, while Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian signed the initial agreement in Tehran.
Israel's national security minister has given a scathing threat, saying, quote, all of Lebanon must burn after the Israeli military reported that 4 of its soldiers had been killed in the south of Lebanon. According to Israel's military, the soldiers were killed, quote, in combat against the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah when their tank was hit during an operation near Kifab Tibnit. For every tear of an Israeli mother, 1,000 Lebanese mothers must weep, Itamar Ben-Gvir, the far-right Israeli national security minister, wrote in a post on X. Ben-Gvir's strongly worded rhetoric comes just days after US and Iranian leaders signed an initial agreement aimed at ending the Iran war. Under the terms of the provisional deal, both sides and their allies are required to suspend all military activities, including in Lebanon. On Friday, Lebanon's health ministry reported that at least 18 people were killed in Israeli strikes. According to state media, the bombardment was among the heaviest in recent weeks. It remains unclear how the latest fighting in Lebanon and strong threats will affect the US-Iran agreement.
Ukrainian authorities announced that Russian drones struck 2 foreign-flagged civilian ships in the Black Sea on Thursday night, killing 1 person and injuring 5 others. Deputy Prime Minister Oleksiy Kuleba confirmed the attacks hit 1 vessel flying the flag of St. Kitts and Nevis and another Panamanian-flagged ship, leaving 1 sailor in a critical condition. Kyiv described the maritime incident as direct warfare against the freedom of navigation, though local officials confirmed both vessels were able to move again following the strikes. The naval bombardment occurred amid a wider wave of overnight Russian assaults, including a strike in Odessa that caused a fatal fire at a truck parking lot. Separate drone and guided bomb attacks across southern and eastern regions also left multiple civilians injured, hitting a minibus in Kherson and damaging 40 homes in Kharkiv. Ukraine's Air Force stated local defenses successfully shot down 79 of 90 incoming drones following a significant Ukrainian strike on a Moscow oil refinery earlier in the week.
The FIFA World Cup served up 4 more group stage matches on Thursday with goals, drama and a statement victory from co-host Canada, who secured their first ever men's World Cup win in 40 years. The Canadians did it in style in Vancouver, hammering Qatar 6-0. Jonathan David led the rout with a hat-trick as the host boosted their chances of reaching the round of 32. In Mexico, the El Tri continued their perfect start to the tournament with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over South Korea in Guadalajara, becoming the first team in the World Cup to qualify for the knockout stage. In Group A, South Africa and Czechia played out a 1-1 draw. Czechia struck early through Mikel Sadilek, but South Africa fought back and earned a late equalizer from the penalty spot to keep their hopes alive. Earlier on Thursday, Switzerland produced a dominant late display to beat Bosnia 4-1. Substitute Joan Mazambi starred with 2 goals as the Swiss moved to 4 points in Group B and within touching distance of qualification. The results mean Mexico, Switzerland and Canada have all taken major steps toward the knockout rounds, while South Africa's late fight back keeps Group A wide open heading into the next round of matches.
Small, discreet and smoke-free. Nicotine pouches are gaining ground in Portugal even before clear rules for their sale have been established. They are placed between the gum and the lip and release nicotine without combustion. For months, these products were sold in tobacco shops and kiosks in a legal grey area. Tabaqueira began officially marketing nicotine pouches in Portugal this year, after they were added to the list of tobacco and nicotine products subject to excise tax. The company argues that these alternatives are less harmful than conventional cigarettes.
Os produtos de nicotina tienen que ser regulamentados todos, porque la nicotina es adictiva. Entonces, lo que es fundamental es que existe una regulamentación que permita de comercializar estos productos para el fumador adulto, pero también salvaguarde que los menores de edad no tengan acceso a estos productos y que también estos productos no sean apelativos para este audience, que no es el target audience de estos productos, son los fumadores adultos que utilizan nicotina hoy, darles a ellos una alternativa con un impacto diferenciado frente al cigarro tradicional que utilizan hoy.
With flavors like mint, red berries, or mango, these products raise concerns among public health experts who fear they may become more appealing to young people and non-smoking adults.
Tem que ser banidos totalmente qualquer tipo de sabor, porque nós sabemos que os aromas aumentam muito a absorção e potenciam muito a dependência, e é a razão pela qual as crianças e os jovens gostam de usar estes produtos, sem dúvida nenhuma.
Each pouch can contain nicotine levels equivalent to several traditional cigarettes. Although they do not contain tobacco, the potential for addiction remains, as do the health risks.
Os efeitos no cérebro são talvez os mais preocupantes, sobretudo porque quem vai usar estes produtos são sobretudo as crianças e os adolescentes e também os adultos jovens. A nicotina prejudica o desenvolvimento do cérebro, interfere com as capacidades cognitivas e provoca alterações do comportamento.
Now, the government is preparing new rules, advertising restrictions, sales limits, and a ban on flavored products and colorful packaging. The intention is to regulate a booming market before it goes even further.
Each year, millions of tourists from around the world visit Pompeii. They admire its frescoes and archaeological ruins, but few of them will ever notice the solar panels installed on the roof of the ancient Roman Villa of the Mysteries.
Vediamo qui uno dei coppi delle tegole sul tetto sotto il quale stiamo, e da qui sembra una tegola antica, da dietro vediamo che in realtà è un piccolo pannello fotovoltaico e quindi produce energia per illuminare questa villa, che gran parte dell'energia necessaria proviene proprio dal tetto installato qui.
While Pompeii is considering extending this solution to other areas of the archaeological park that are far from the electricity grid, the city of Évora in Portugal has also adopted similar technologies, avoiding the visual impact of conventional solar panels like these.
We have here these shingles installed in the rooftop of the City Hall in Évora, but they are not normal shingles. They are made of a semi-transparent epoxy material with solar cells embedded in the middle of it, which generates electricity for the self-consumption of this building. We have around this area around 20 kilowatt peak of PV shingles, as they call them, installed, and their objective is to blend into the landscape architecture of this building to protect the heritage area aspect of Évora.
Since 1986, Évora's historic centre has been listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. PV shingles are among the solutions through which a European project is helping the city reconcile heritage preservation with the modern challenges of sustainability.
Évora é uma cidade património mundial da humanidade e, tal como a grande maioria das cidades históricas europeias, tem a obrigação de preservar o centro histórico, de preservar o património. No entanto, não pode ficar parado no tempo. Nós temos também que avançar no sentido de encontrar soluções que permitam às cidades históricas ir ao encontro daquilo que hoje em dia nós temos que resolver, que é o problema da descarbonização.
Among the solutions developed to make this possible is one created by a small family-owned company based in northeastern Italy.
Il coppo è un composto di resina che viene versato al primo strato, si prendono le celle fotovoltaiche che abbiamo già saldato in precedenza, le si mette dentro, successivamente si prende un altro strato che è un composto fatto con dei carichi, l'ultimo passaggio è abbassare lo stampo e togliere finalmente il prodotto finito, che è appunto un composto di resina con all'interno le celle che abbiamo visto prima.
Solutions like this one and the different technology adopted in Pompeii send an encouraging message to the rest of the world.
Credo che la lezione che Pompei dà è che se può funzionare qui, in questo luogo così delicato, così attenzionato, così fragile e grande, allora vuol dire che può funzionare ovunque.
Glass roofs integrating photovoltaic panels and solar canopies installed in the courtyard of schools in the historic center are among the other solutions being tested in Évora. Together with Alkmaar in the Netherlands, the Portuguese city is assessing these innovations through the Positives project to evaluate their potential for replication across Europe.